going on, everybody? It's your boy Tony Delerme. Thanks for tuning in to a brand new episode of Brother Please Hear Me Out. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I drop a new video. And also make sure you follow me on Twitter at tdhiphop media. That is on Twitter at tdhiphop media. And if you've been subscribed to this channel for quite some time now and you have a love and appreciation for the work that I do on this channel, the number one way that you can support me is by showing love on Patreon for only $5 a month. That'll help put me in position to be able to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube and become a legitimate independent media platform. Like I always say, the goal is not to become big on YouTube. The goal is to grow independent of YouTube. That way we never have to worry about the channel and the content being taken down or removed. It lives on forever, and our people will have access to it whenever they need it, and it won't abruptly go away because we're actually under the thumb of another man, another individual, and another institution. So that is the goal. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the topic at hand. And what I wanted to do today is something a little bit different from what I normally do. I actually want to play a clip from you from an excellent YouTube channel called the Black Brain Trust. It's channels like this that our people need to be listening to more and more, because the kind of discussions that they have on the Black Brain Trust are critical to our survival as a people in this country. They have multiple different shows on this channel like Black Tech Talk, Space and Technology, Black Car Talk, Black Health Talk, Geopolitics. They discuss so much on this channel that it's not even funny. These brothers go live almost every day. When they go live, they're on live having these discussions and reading articles and elaborating on the articles that they're reading on for anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. This is going on for. And within that live stream, if you catch them live, they will drop the link in the live chat for you to be able to jump into the conversation with them, and they will answer any questions that you may have on whatever particular topic that they might be speaking on at that moment. Now, me personally, my favorite show on there is Black Tech Talk, as well as Space and Technology. They also have an economics show as well. But what I want to do today is play a clip from you from, in my opinion, what is the best show that they've done so far this year, and it's only January. This episode is called Black Tech Talk, episode 432, Life After Parole, Careers in IT for Convicted Felons. And what you're getting ready to listen to right now is what I'm talking about when I say these are the kind of conversations that we need to be privy to, that we need to be listening to and sharing with one another and amongst our people if we want to survive America. They go into great detail discussing on this show what it is brothers can do if you have a felony record and the way in which you can still participate in the tech industry, make good money, and live a good life. So many brothers are out here right now, they've simply given up on life because of their felony record. Because for the most part in this country, a felony record is a death sentence, especially if you have a felony record and you're black. But these brothers discuss and break down the ways that you can maneuver around that felony record so that you can still become a success in life. Videos like this are the kind of videos that need to have 50,000 views on it. And the clip that I'm going to play for you is phenomenal. I believe this brother has spent about 10 years in prison, and he gives you his whole journey from going from prison to being a successful individual in the tech field. So please, I'm going to leave the link in my comment section, pinned in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Brain Trust. Hit the bell notification so that you can be notified whenever they drop a new video, and soak up the information and knowledge that they give us, as well as apply it to your life, and make sure that we're sharing this information with our brothers and sisters. I can't stress it enough. Channels like this, information like this, and videos like this that the Black Brain Trust puts forth, these have to be the kind of videos that are doing 50, 60,000 views, 100,000 views per video, because this is the kind of information that's going to save us. With all that being said, here is your introduction to the Black Brain Trust and the types of conversations that go on over there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good morning, first of all.
What's up, bro?
So I guess I want to preface this by asking a question here. How many? Because I heard the one brother was saying he was from Florida, and so I guess my first question is who all do we have on the panel that are in the position where they have a strike and they are actually have some functional skill as compared to what the title says. And the reason I asked that question, right? I think Mike said it. Leave and go try somewhere else. And this isn't coming from somebody on a panel on a random YouTube that's just talking air out his ass. I spent 10 years, 8 to 10 years in the penitentiary for weapons charges. Okay, and I'm highly successful several years later. And the first thing is, as far as what we're talking about, if you're trying to get into these companies, the one thing I learned along my journey is that actual skill, valuable skill, overcomes the felony deficiency, period, flat out. And that's in any industry. But since we're talking about technology, that's even more so true today. If you have something to offer and it is valuable in terms of a skill set, and you have or you are working on yourself or have developed yourself so that when you go and sit at that interview, it doesn't matter if, like the brother said, there was one black guy and he was backed by some other guys who probably didn't have the same views and interests as him. Companies are greedy. And if you come with something that can make that company more profitable, you have a place, regardless of your felony, right? And so, that's the expungement thing is the second piece I want to hit on, and this is critically important. Why? My felony, gentlemen, is inexpungible in the state where I am originally from. It's inexpungible. So it doesn't matter how much money I have. I can go drop $100,000 on a lawyer. It's nothing I could do, nowhere I could go to get my felony scrubbed out. So the other part of that is whatever state you're from, Florida, Massachusetts, Cali, wherever, most guys need to know what type of classification of felony that you have and get in that law book. Look to see, number one, if your felony is expungible in the state. Once you do that, you're either going to know what it is or it isn't. If it isn't, okay, fine. You need to start working a little bit harder to develop yourself, to develop your skill set so that when you go and present yourself to some company, to some person at a networking event, like Mike said, there are people there that, they can take you on. I got one more. The last thing that I learned over my journey, build a professional profile of yourself and use your whole entire name. That middle initial, a great trick to use, because I think Mike said that they have those algorithms that will search out and, it looks to see, Google yourself. I added a few initials to my actual name and started using it as my professional name. I learned that from my best friend who was a banker, hit his wife, got a felony, jacked him up. He started using his initials. It is a game changer. So I'm just hitting you guys with that. It's possible.
Yeah, I agree. It's possible because I wouldn't even be trying if I felt like it wasn't possible. I know it's a numbers game. I got to keep applying and keep till I just run across that company that's probably not just going to do the background search.
What's your specialty, if you don't mind me asking?
SQL, business intelligence, SSIS, SSRS.
Any certification?
No, I ain't got no.
Have you built anything? I heard somebody say certification, but let me ask a greater question. Have you built anything that if you were to put that into a portfolio today after this video and showcase that to somebody, it is something that a legitimate company could use among their ranks? Have you built anything? Have you done any projects for anybody?
Yeah, I've been uploading a project using C#, ASP.NET up on GitHub, but I'm not exactly finished with it yet, but I'm gonna tweak it. And I plan on actually interviewing with that.
So let me
so
let
I
me ask
can
another
speak.
question.
So I can speak. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you done any actual work for somebody where you were paid? Craigslist, anything? Have you taken these skills that you're talking to us now about in addition to GitHub? Because GitHub's cool, but and I don't. For those out there listening for the chat, I'm not crapping on GitHub. I'm just keeping it real because we're here to help people. I'm keeping it 100. GitHub is not always going to get you paid. GitHub is there to say, okay, you can do this. What speaks more volumes is that, okay, you did some database work for Mike. He got a music collection and he does an event. You did a database thing for him. He paid you some money. He referred you to a Complex Design, got a racing car database he need. You hooked it up. You put it out there online. You can go point to it. So my question is, have you been paid by anyone with some of the skills that you're talking about here and now, so that if Mike or if anyone out there who could be listening say, hey, find that guy that was listening to your channel that was on your chat. We want to talk to him. We might have some work for him. Do you have anything that you can point them towards to say, I did this for these people in addition or besides GitHub?
No, I haven't done.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet, and that's actually what I was getting to. I was saying I want to. I see that's what I have to do now.
Yeah, you got a job.
You know, Cyber. That's kind of like when me and Richard, when we we may talk once every week or two, and that's oftentimes like a theme. A lot of what our conversations are is just getting work out there, right? A lot of what we're trying to get moving here in the back channels with regards to some of the smart device projects that we're trying to put some development behind. I've spoke with Richard about it, and that's where the scenario that you just talked about comes into play, where it's like, okay, we can actually collaborate on some stuff here, produce real world. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Let Complex finish.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was to say, to put real world projects out there, and then those projects, given the commercial nature of them, one, there's an equity or an interest in it due to the work that was put in. Two, it goes on a portfolio. It's like, look, this is my work in production. So it backs up everything that you're saying. When somebody might look, see that you may have a checkered past, but then at the same time, they say, okay, well, in the time that he's been out, or in the time that, from the time he was in there, wait, you've been doing this? And it's just like, it's a different type of app development. Oh, I built this database here, and then I collaborated with these people here, and I did this here. And then, this started out as a project, and then I had somebody actually come and, buy the code from me. So, you take them over to their website and go, so you see this right here? That's actually me. But they purchased that from me. You know what I mean? It's like you just went and built your portfolio on your own and shit.
Yeah, I think a part of that portfolio should include certification. I'm a big stickler for certification.
Yep.
Because if they're trying to get around, if they're trying to find a justification outside of your work, a certification is gonna speak volumes about your determination and your willingness to be involved in that part of the sector. Go ahead, brother, who was trying to speak.
Sure. What I wanted to say is that, that's a good point, Complex, is, putting the work out there. However, again, there's another attribute to that. And to the brother that I was talking to, you and anybody else, I want you to really listen to this. This is how I succeeded. And, it's 100%. Not saying nobody else's way doesn't work, but this is what I did. Sometimes you have to go out there to the work, not necessarily, well, I'm gonna build this and put this up. What does that mean? Now, in my time, I had Craigslist. And I used Craigslist to go out there to grab projects that I knew I could do, or that I knew that would be a challenge. And even if I couldn't charge them the amount of money that I thought that I could get from them, I wanted to do it because I wanted to reach out to actual people, build a relationship, build something, and say, hey, I'll do that for you. What are the requirements? And so now, instead of just putting the project up saying, well, if I put it up there, they'll come. No, go out there and get the work. Go, if it's something simple, go to them, say, hey, go knocking on doors and say, hey, I'll do that. I'll charge this much. Hit me up with some details. Let's get a Skype going or something like that, and go to the work while you're building other stuff in the background. While you're doing that, you're building a investment in clientele and people. Somebody was going to go tell somebody, hey, you did this. And one day you might start getting emails, phone calls, and knocks at the door that you haven't expected because you went out and start doing the work. And it also diversifies you. It gets you out of that pocket of, well, I'm going to focus on building this. No, go build something. If you got the skill, start utilizing the skill that you've built up and start taking on different projects in real time.